guys, welcome back to my channel. I asked you guys on Instagram to give me some questions for a Q&A, and I got some really good questions. I've been excited for a couple of days now actually to do this video because I feel like you guys asked some really good questions. Some of them are questions I get asked a lot, so I'm happy to be able to answer them here and hopefully answer a ton of people at once. And then some of them I feel like are questions that I just want to answer. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys. If you want to see, then just keep on watching. Okay, so the first question is, what are your favorite stores to shop at? Kirkland's, Hobby Lobby, Target, Walmart, and Kohl's. Those are my top favorite. I know this is a personal topic. I remember you saying you struggled with infertility, and I was just wondering if you were going to share your story. I did struggle with infertility. I have had multiple losses. That is a video that has been on my list of to-dos to make. But as you can imagine, it is really hard, so it's something that I just haven't done yet. I'm not ready yet. How do you stay so on top of things with 2 girls, 2 dogs, and the hubby and not feel completely overwhelmed and drained? I realize this question may be more of an assumption. And that's the thing about social media, and it's going around a lot right now, but social media is the highlight reel. So just remember that, guys. People share the best parts of their day and the best parts of their life. They don't generally come on and share the crappy parts. I mean, some people do, but for the most part, we all just share, like, the happy parts. So that is assuming I don't always keep it together. I am overwhelmed. I get very overwhelmed, especially having anxiety. I get overwhelmed, but I do take steps to try and manage it all, and it is very, very hard, but I try to do as much work at one time as I can rather than spreading it out over time. That way I have like a day off that's completely off, and I try to set aside days that are just strictly family time. On the weekends, I'm a lot less active on social media. If you notice, I just try to, not focus on that and just take a step back and worry about my family. But those are just like a couple things that I do to try, but I definitely get overwhelmed. I don't think there's really any way around it in today's world because there's just so much going on and we're so busy. So I don't really think there's any way around it, but I do my best. How often is your husband usually gone on deployments? Also, what are some tips you have for having 2 girls with an age difference? Do you ever struggle finding things that both of them enjoy? Good question. He's usually gone for about 6 months. Sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're a little bit shorter, but generally they're about 6 months, and he does go every year. Tips for age difference and finding things for both of them to do. Tips. The only thing that comes to mind, and I am no pro at this, is just making sure that you divide time for each child, and that goes for any age gap if you have a 2 and a 3-year-old, really. But it's important when they are age difference like I have. The girls are 7 years apart because Kinsley is still a baby, or she's my baby, and so she gets a lot of attention, mostly because she needs it, but also because she's the baby and she's just so stinking cute. But it's sometimes I have to stand back and realize that I've got to have time with just Madeline. So Madeline and I will go on mommy and me dates. I'll get a sitter, or I'll leave Kinsley home with daddy if he's home, and we will go and do things. Tucker is barking. Okay, so Madeline and I will go on mommy and me dates. I'll get a sitter for Kinsley. Hi, buddy. Or I will get, I'll leave her home with daddy or something, and her and I will go do things just us so that she gets that one-on-one attention. What are you growling at? There's no one here. Or another thing that her and I do is I have Kinsley's bedtime about 30 minutes to an hour before Madeline's bedtime, and then I can spend that time with Madeline, whether it be watching a show, doing a puzzle, or just hanging out, whatever. As far as finding things to do that they both enjoy, I've been really lucky in that area. Madeline likes to do a lot of the same things Kinsley does. If we go somewhere that's more for like little kids, Madeline will jump right in and play with her and have a good time. And then if we do things, I find it harder, obviously, for like if we do things that are for bigger kids, like say skating at the skating rink or something. And I honestly just try not to bring Kinsley because it makes it really hard to do some things like that, like going to the movies and stuff. She would not sit through a movie, so it's harder to do things that are like geared towards older kids. but the younger kids stuff, Maddie just joins right in. Can we meet sometime, your husband? What does he think of your YouTube channel? I know that he's in the military, but what? I'm not sure she speaks English very fluently, but she tried her best. I'm not really sure what the last question is, but I think she means what is his job. So I'm not going to say a whole lot about this, but I just will say my husband is in the military, and there's something called OPSEC, and you can Google it if you want. But basically, it is just the security rules for the military, and especially when it comes to social media, but what you're allowed to share and what you're not allowed to share, and just for safety reasons. A lot of people on YouTube do not follow OPSEC rules because a lot of people get confused why some guys in the military are on their wives' channels and then I don't show my husband, but technically that's because they aren't following the OPSEC rules. We choose to do that in our family just because I try to take every little safety precaution that I possibly can when I'm putting my life out on social media. So that is the reason why, because technically he's not supposed to be on social media because of his job. And as far as what he does in the military, I would love to be able to share that with you guys, but again, I'm not going to, just for safety reasons, and I don't want to sound like crazy or make people speculate or think I'm trying to hide some big secret, because I'm not. I just simply don't want to share it, so hopefully you guys can respect that. Is it hard to live in a different state than your family? At first, yes. When I was 19 and we moved all the way to Colorado, which was 19 hours away, it was really hard. Now it's not at all, and we don't live too far. We're about 4 hours from my family and about 5 from his. But at this point, I have my own family, I have my own friends, and like my own support system. So for me, it's really not hard at all. Can we be best friends? Sure. What is one room in your house you don't mind cleaning all the time? Do you think your husband will ever do a question and answer with you? And I love your channel. Thank you. One room in my house I don't mind cleaning all the time. Probably my kitchen. I enjoy cleaning my kitchen. No, he probably won't ever do a Q&A on my channel. I kind of answered that in the last one. And I think that was it for yours. Okay, so the next one is, what do you eat in a day because you are always so fit? What are your YouTube goals or goals with your channel? I love you and I'm your biggest fan. Thank you, Lindsay. What do I eat in a day? Okay, so I get asked this question a lot, like, what do you do to stay fit? I used to work out and I used to actually be legit fit, and I let myself go because I had Kinsley and life, and most of you can understand that. I used to actually be in amazing shape and I was so proud of my body, and I let it go. And I used to work out all the time. I'm getting back into working out now, so I do work out. But as far as eating, I'm not the world's healthiest eater at all. I really don't eat very good. But the one thing I think that has helped me to stay thin is I do have a really small stomach. I don't eat very big portion sizes, so I eat what I want, but I just don't eat a lot of it. I eat less than Madeline does usually. She can out-eat me big time. And I don't do it on purpose. I'm not starving myself. I just can't eat more than that because my stomach is so small, and it's always just been that way. I can order a kid's meal and not even finish it. Are your plans to stay military until retirement age? If not, will you move, and where would you like to go? Okay, so yes, we only have a few years left actually before he retires. So we will definitely be retiring from the military. We have no idea where we're going to go after this. We talk about that a lot, but we honestly have no idea. Our family also has 2 dogs, and despite my constant cleaning, vacuuming, lighting candles, and diffusing essential oils, I'm terrified my house will have that smell. Any tips or suggestions on how to keep your house smelling clean with fur babies? I think you probably already do everything that you should. The only thing I can say tip-wise is cleaning daily, keeping up with it, not letting it go, because you can mask the smells with candles and Febreze and essential oils, and all that is doing is masking the smell. But what you want to focus on is actually preventing the smell to begin with, and all that odor is bacteria. So surface cleaning, vacuuming, and mopping like pretty much daily is really important. So I definitely wipe down my surfaces, vacuum. I vacuum every single day, and I mop at least every other day, and then I do like a deep cleaning of my hardwood floors once a week. But just like washing your throw blankets and throw pillows, any areas where they lay their blankets inside their crates, anything like that, washing them and just keeping up on it, and that's how I do it. What is your favorite and least favorite thing to clean? My favorite thing to clean is my kitchen sink. I love cleaning my sink. I don't know why that's so weird. And then my least favorite thing to clean is the bathrooms. I hate cleaning the bathrooms. How do you handle finding childcare when you first move to an area and don't know anyone, like date night, babysitters, and random help with Kinsley, so that you could volunteer in M's class and stuff like that? Thanks. Well, we've been where we are now for almost 12 years. So now I've established, like I said earlier, a support system. So I know people and I've known them for a long time. So I don't really have that problem now, but I have been in that situation. And honestly, the first thing is I just didn't have childcare. I went long periods of time, including years, where either I didn't have any childcare or I waited until family was visiting, or I had to wait till my husband was home so I could go and do something without kids. But as far as like date night, that just didn't happen. But there has been times where I would use a website called care.com and find somebody on there. And so I would go on there and I would read their profile, and if it sounded good to me, I would definitely call all of their references, and then I would actually meet with them in a public place and interview them in person, and see, you know, get what vibe I have or whatever. And I have hired a couple of people that way, but now we've been here so long that I have my people and I don't need that, but that's what I did in the past. How do you work so hard on YouTube and still have so much time for your family? Love your channel. Thank you so much. Sometimes I feel like people don't understand how much work goes into YouTube. It's so much work. I kind of answered this earlier, but I try to spend days where I do nothing but work on that day. That way it frees up an entire other day or entire rest of the week. That way I have time to focus on just them rather than spreading it out and doing a little bit of work every day. I try to do a lot of work on one day, if that makes sense. What was your cleaning schedule like with a baby? I didn't clean. When Kinsley was a newborn, I didn't clean. My husband was deployed. He left when she was 11 days old. We were up every hour. If you have had a newborn, you know, I don't even have to tell you, but you're exhausted, and I didn't clean. My house was filthy. That's just the honest to God truth. I didn't. For a few months, I did not clean. I did the bare minimum of what I had to do to get by, and that was it. My foot keeps falling asleep. If you see me moving around a lot or wincing in pain, that's why. Do you have any tips on finding new mommy friends? When I was younger and I was seeking out friends, I would use, there were certain, like back in the day, there used to be like Army Wife Facebook pages, or they weren't Facebook pages because this is before Facebook. They were like Yahoo forums or something like that. Like if you're younger, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But there used to be like forums you could go on, and for whatever post you were stationed at, and there was like, you could chat in there. And I did meet some friends that way. I actually still am friends with those girls. It's crazy. I have made lifelong friends that way. Of course they don't live here anymore because we're all spread out. But as far as making them like it goes now, honestly, I don't seek to make new friends. I have my friends. And I have all I need, and I don't really feel the need to make more friends. I have all I need. I'm just completely content. And I mean, I have my own family, so I'm busy anyways. I don't have a lot of time for a ton of girlfriends, but I just have quality over quantity. I think that's really important. Some people think that you have to have all these friends, but that's not true. I have a couple of really good friends, and that's all I need. Do you plan on having any more children, or is your family complete? We are done. Hopefully, please God, let me be done. We are done. We do not plan on having any more children. We feel completely content and happy, and hopefully we don't have any more. Do you have any cleaning or organizing tips for garages? No, I don't. And if you saw my garage, you would probably fall over, but it's not my territory. It's my husband's. He works on his car in there. He stores his boat, all this fishing stuff. It's like totally a man garage, and it's disgusting, and no, I don't even go in there. Have you tried using your own cleaning solution in the Bissell Crosswave? So I did get a Bissell Crosswave. I did an entire review video on that if you're interested. And it comes with its own solution they recommend using, and I have tried my own. I put a little bit of pine salt in it, and it did fine. And a lot of people that own it have been telling me that they do that as well, but just use a very, very small amount. I obviously wouldn't put anything in it that would sud up, but something like pine salt has been working fine for me. Were you able to stay on top of everything with an infant? So I already answered that. No, I wasn't. What is your favorite go-to dinner? Usually it's like spaghetti, or sometimes I do, instead of spaghetti noodles, I'll do ravioli. It's really easy to make, really good, and everybody in my family likes it. What is your favorite iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts? Right now it's the butter pecan. It's so good, but I think it's only through the summer. But any other time I usually just get a vanilla. If you could only have one cleaning product, what would it be? Pine Sol. How do you and your husband stay connected and maintain your relationship with the long distance? What am I trying to say? I was going to say Skype. FaceTime. FaceTime, we try to, well, we talk every day when he's deployed, usually text, sometimes a phone call, but FaceTime, we try to do that at least once a week, sometimes a couple times a week, and we just, I don't really know. I don't have like any spectacular, groundbreaking advice for that. It's not easy, but we just talk often. And I guess one thing is we like to talk about the future when he gets home, like plans that we're making. So planning for a vacation, what we're planning to buy, or like what our next phase in life will be, what our goals are, things like that. And we will kind of connect and talk about that. What is your morning routine as far as what time do you wake up? Do you go downstairs and grab coffee? Also, what time do you normally go to bed? What shows are you currently watching? So during the school week, I get up at 7 a.m. and sometimes I have coffee, sometimes I don't. And then I usually go to bed around 10:30 or 11. And favorite shows that I'm watching are Bachelor in Paradise. I like the show Rattled. I think that's on TLC. Rattled. There is another one. I've been watching Dr. Pimple Popper. I love that. I love Game of Thrones, but it's not on yet. I can't wait for it to come back on. I love The Handmaid's Tale. It's also not on yet. It just finished its second season. But yeah, those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Do you have any tattoos? Story behind them? If not, would you get any? I do. I have one tattoo. It is on my butt, and it's my husband's name. There you go. You learned something about me you didn't already know. I was very young when I got it, and I don't really regret it, but I will say that it's faded a lot and it's not very cute anymore. But yeah, that's the one and only tattoo. Ever have worries about what people would say or think about you once you first started your channel? How did you deal with negativity? When you started your channel, how did you get your name out there to help gain followers? Yes, I was very worried about what people would think of me. And how did I deal with the negativity at first? Not well. I took a lot of things to heart. I did a lot of crying. I don't know. It wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie. How did I get my name out there? I just was consistent with my videos. I was constantly putting them out, so they were constantly circulating and people were finding them. I think that's really the only thing that I know that I did. What do you eat at home for breakfast and lunch when it's just you and your little one? And what do you like to do with your little one while your oldest is at school? Lately I've been eating oatmeal. I've been on an oatmeal kick. And lunch, I've been eating soup. I love soup. So, and then what do I do with Kinsley? Sometimes we'll go run errands, and sometimes we will like color or play Play-Doh or something like that. Or just kind of hang out around here while I like clean and do stuff. Nothing really fun. Really new to your channel, but I have binge watch all of your videos and may have missed this. Do you or your husband have any family that lives close to you? My grandma actually lives here. She lives in a retirement home. She just moved here a couple of months ago though. So I have her, and then I do have an aunt, but we're not really close. So she does live here, but we don't have a really close relationship. Have you filmed your updated house tour? Yes, I have, and that will be out very soon. What is your favorite junk food? Do you allow your kids to eat it? My favorite junk food, it changes all the time. Right now it's Starburst. And yeah, I allow my kids to have junk food. They have to eat their healthy food first, but I do allow them to have snacks. Not a whole lot of candy or anything like that, but like snacks. Did you go to college? No, I did not go to college. However, I have done a couple of my husband's college courses. Don't tell anyone. Do you exercise? Sometimes. Recently, I've gotten back into it. I've been in a long down phase where I wasn't, but and then do you cleanse your body? If so, how often? So I don't know if you mean like an actual like full-on cleanse. I don't think I do that, but I do use the Teamy colon cleanse, and I really love that stuff. It is amazing. I've talked about it a ton here on my channel, and I do use that several times a week, and it's supposed to cleanse out your colon, obviously, but it also does, like, I think your liver and your kidneys and maybe something else. And I do notice that it does that because I'm using the bathroom a lot more, like as far as peeing, I pee a lot more, if that's not TMI, when I drink it, but it also does help to cleanse your colon, and it works really well for me. So I do that a couple times a week. When do you think to decorate your house for fall? I usually will decorate the very last week in August, but I don't have like a set date. It's just whenever I feel like it. Do you have any plans on working outside the home once Kay goes to school full time? Like maybe as an interior decorating, even if it's just one time for someone named Sarah. That's so funny. And if not, how do you take vision from your head for a room design and then bring it to life? No, I don't have plans to work outside of the home. Hopefully once she's in school, I'm still doing YouTube. If not, I will keep plenty busy while she's in school, just trying to manage the house and running errands and having a little bit. I will use definitely that extra time to have some more me time, but then, you know, after school there's after school activities and dinner and homework and all of that stuff. Just because I'm not necessarily busy during school hours doesn't mean that I don't still stay busy. It just isn't during those hours. So like in the evening time when most people are getting off work is when I'm like basically starting it. But I'm still like cleaning and getting groceries and doing other things during the day. So for me, no. So I get a lot of my inspiration from Pinterest, and I don't really know. I don't really have any tip. I just buy things that I like, and then I just figure out how to put them on the wall or how I want to do them. I don't really know. I just do. Maybe it just comes naturally. I don't really think I'm that great at decorating. I see other people's houses and think they look great. But a lot of you think I do, and I think that's really sweet. And I do enjoy it, but I don't really think I'm that good at it. What app do you use to make YouTube thumbnails? I use PicMonkey. Does Madeline have a cell phone? What age would you allow her to have one? What age could she have a Facebook account, etc.? Will your husband ever do another deployment? Yes, he will. As long as you're in the military, you're going to deploy. It's not like a one and done type thing. No, Madeline does not have a cell phone. She doesn't have any social media at all. And no, she will not be getting a cell phone anytime soon or social media anytime soon. I don't have a set age for it. I have not said like when you're 16, but it won't be anytime soon. So we'll see. Do you clean your own car or do you have someone else do it, and what kind do you have? I clean my own car. I hate doing it. It's disgusting and needs to be done right now, but I totally do it myself. And I'm not going to share like the make and model of my car just for safety reasons, but I do have a car, a 4-door sedan car. How many hours a week do you think you spend on editing, all duties outside of filming? I would say 30 to 40 hours between responding to comments, editing, emails, advertising, engaging. There's a lot. Researching is a big thing that takes a lot of time. Planning. I would say 30 to 40 hours a week. What advice would you give to one mom to another to keeping your sanity with the day-to-day chaos of raising a family, school, cooking, and cleaning? I would say to make yourself a priority. Take time for yourself. A lot of times women think that they have to put their families first or their kids first in order to be a good mom, and I disagree with that. I think that you have to be running smoothly and be healthy mentally and physically in order to make everything else run around you smoothly. So I think that you should make yourself a priority. Take time for yourself, even if it's like an hour in the evening, in the morning, once a week, whatever, but just make yourself a priority and take care of yourself first, and then you can focus on everything else. Have you ever talked about your family in your videos, parents, siblings? I have. My sister's been in a couple of my videos. I typically do like cleaning videos or sit down, so those aren't really videos that like I would talk about my family, and I do vlogs, but it's kind of rare. So aside from like the time she's been in them, sometimes I've even been like on the phone with her, my sister. I don't really talk about them a whole lot. There's no particular reason. I guess it's just not like a topic that I'm on that day, so I don't talk about them. Is your husband going to deploy again, and how do your girls do so well when he's gone? Yes, he will. Yes. And then the girls, how do they do so well? Honestly, because they're used to it. It's just a way of life for us, and unfortunately, they're used to it. And the last question, she says hi, and that she is from Sweden, and she wants to know if I know anything about Sweden. I do not know anything about Sweden. I should probably Google it. Maybe one day I can go on vacation there, but I don't know anything about it. Okay, guys, I am done. This is super long, so I'm going to just say bye. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for asking your questions. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.
You make the sky look blue, even when it is gray.